Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being on my channel where we are talking about the multi-dimensional approach to rapidly and radically healing and transforming during and after narcissistic abuse. And in this video, I want to talk to you today about how the narcissist knows exactly how to trigger your deepest wounds and traumas, right? And exploit your deepest desires and needs. Let's get into it. So as I've explained many times, the narcissist is soul detached. They are operating under the influence of an entity of consciousness that we're calling narcissism, which is why they all act in the same ways, the same sequence, the same cycle. Some of their behaviors may be slightly different, but it's very textbook, it's very predictable because it's an entity of consciousness that they have, like an entity that they've attached to, and it operates multidimensionally in the psychic realm. So they already can feel into what your deepest unmet needs were as a child, your deepest wounds, which are usually going to be around, right? Abandonment, survival, fear of being liked, because most of what we're wounded by is what we've had to become, right? Or do to get our survival needs met. Now, our survival needs are beyond like feed me and water me. In fact, you know, love is a survival need. I've talked before about there was an experiment done many years ago when a lot of women were giving their babies, isn't too loud, I've got some interference, the babies to orphanages, right? At times when really like having children outside of marriage wasn't acceptable. I think it was before the pill, in fact, and contraception. So in these orphanages, a lot of these babies were dying. And at first they didn't know why, because they would be fed and watered, but what was happening was they weren't picked up and held. So if a baby in the first 2 weeks of its life isn't actually held and shown love, it can die. Right, it's that fatal. Now, obviously, we're adults now, so you're not going to immediately die like a young infant might be. But love is a survival need. So the things we do to get validated, feel loved, feel connected, feel accepted, right, are around our survival needs. Now, the narcissist can sense psychically what your biggest wounds are, right? And they know exactly where to stick the knife, which keeps you in trauma and in the trauma bond, right? They also know the hooks. This is why they project an illusion in the love bomb stages, right? They know what you're yearning for. They know what you're hurt by. They know what you're missing. And guess what? They know what your dreams and desires are. That's why they future fake. That's why they pretend to be the solution to not just your healing, right? They project that they're going to be the one that gives you love, that gives you security, that gives you validation, that gives you support, that gives you the things that you were missing, stability perhaps. And they also know how to keep you on the hook, future fake you into an idea that you could have the things that you've yearned for. They know how to do this because they operate in the psychic realms, right? You can operate in the psychic realm in terms of you can use your intuition more. We all can open our crown chakra and be more energetically aware. But most of us have been taught to shut down our intuition, to overemphasize our logic. So most of you will know from toxic and narcissistic relationships how many times you felt things were off without being educated, without learning about the red flags. When you come onto channels like this and learn about it, it confirms to you what you felt inside. You just didn't know that you could trust it. So I encourage all of us to be more in touch with our bodies. I teach it all the time, our energy field, our intuition, because that is the key, not only to protecting ourselves and knowing the truth, the body has wisdom, it's also the key to feeling our way into what's good for us in life. It's our sat-nav, you see. So the narcissist aims to shut your intuition down. We're focused in our logical brains. I've got high psychic abilities. I channel ancient wisdom. I've got high psychic abilities. But what I couldn't understand with narcissists is that I can't read them. I thought my gifts weren't working. That wasn't the case. I can't read them because they're soul detached. They're soul detached. So I had to over-rely on logic, which is so much easier to be manipulated and confused when you're just relying on your logical brain. But children, babies, so many times kids will say when someone is off, And the parents often will say, well, you've got to be nice to him. He's Uncle Tom. And then later you find out that Uncle Tom wasn't that nice. Children know because they're still connected to the energetic realm. They haven't been taught to shut off their intuition. Animals know. Animals sometimes have a very strong reaction to someone. They know, right? So we've got to understand that we're multidimensional. We've got to trust our senses more. Yeah, you've got to understand that everything you want to experience in life, they're going to exploit and keep the carrot dangling. You know, they're going to dangle it in front of your nose. That you could almost have the happy family. You could actually have the home life you want. I am a nice parent. I am going to someday be that. I am going to be a great partner. All rubbish with a narcissist. And they're going to slowly, subliminally, and then it's going to intensify, be exasperating your trauma to keep you in a traumatized state. Why? You traumatized someone who will not move forward in life. You will be in a trauma response the whole time, probably frozen, probably procrastinating, overthinking, sometimes fighting back, sometimes fleeing the scene, but sometimes just overgiving, over people pleasing, over fawning, to be liked, to try harder, to overgive, to burn yourself out. All of this will make you ill. All of this will make you ill. If you can join Sovereign Do, we are annihilating this on the planet right now by raising consciousness, becoming sovereign beings and demanding the life that we came to live. No longer being part of this absolute circus of having our traumas exasperated and our desires exploited, because what that does is it makes us lose hope. I've been there. What that does is make us not believe in ourselves. What that does is make us stop fighting. I teach in Sovereign, because I teach manifestation, that desire is one of the strongest energies in the universe, and so is love. And like when you can literally love the life you want into place by being in a positive emotion. But after abuse cycles, all we feel is fear. You know, fear of going towards our dreams, fear of doing a big step, fear of change. Because normally anything we've gone for with the narcissist ends up going wrong. It's like good for a minute and then it all collapses. Good for a minute and then it collapses. I had that imprinted in my subconscious so badly that even though I ran towards my dreams, so many of them fell apart. Because I was wired for it. My nervous system expected it after decades of narcissistic abuse. This stops here. We get to manifest. We get to build a steady nervous system. And when you fall on your face, which isn't normal for anyone, not just survivors, you, me, we get to go again, building stability, building certainty, and not giving up on the love we want, the life we want, the health we want, the fulfillment we want, right? That's what we're here to do. Lots of love, guys. Please continue to like, subscribe, share, comment, ask, tell me what you want to hear about. I love you. Thank you for being here, and I'll speak to you soon.